Hello, everybody. I'm back. Change of plans. Okay, so originally I was going to be doing a serious video tonight. I was going to it's going to be talking about the whole Johnny Depp trial, and I was going to do analysis, testimony analysis by the clinical psychologist. And I changed my mind. Okay, so here's the reason why I changed my mind. Well, because I got shocked. I got surprised when Martin came into my channel and said that Judge Ramsey had resigned. And I was just horrified and heartbroken. And I think it's terrible. I think it's terrible because, in my opinion, Suzanne Morphew was cheated, right? And so I kind of, I had some grief, obviously some anger, and I think it's just horrible. And so as I've been trying to get myself in order and kind of regroup and come back to do the whole Johnny Depp video, I ran across some interesting information, or I thought it was interesting. And maybe one AK might think it's interesting. But it is wild speculation at its finest. In fact, dare I say, this may actually be the wildest speculation of all time in the history of the channel, Jewels of Thought. That's just how wild it's going to be. Okay. So you guys, we got to wait for a few more people to get in here. I can't do such wild speculation with only a few people. So I don't know if you got friends. I don't know what you can do, but you got to get a few people in here before we can do our wild speculation, because it's pretty off the hook. It's pretty crazy. Okay. While we're waiting on more people, I will say that Tori Hartman was live last night, which was wonderful. Love her so much and haven't seen her in quite a while. So it was really good to see her back. And she's talking about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, and the fact that, Amber Heard has been revealed to be, apparently she is abusive to the point of, some people are even calling her a domestic batterer. So the thing, I did have a lady, Kathy from Texas, I think is her name, or like what she goes by on YouTube, and she and I got into a conversation, and she said, well, you should not form opinions about a relationship until you've heard both sides, and that kind of thing. And my response was, well, normally under regular circumstances, I would completely agree. This is a little bit different situation though, because we have the audio recordings, 5 hours of audio recordings. And every day that they're in court, there's new recordings coming out. So it's really quite, shocking. So I don't know, somebody must be live right now that everybody loves. And so we're not getting many people in here right now. So I guess we'll just go ahead and do I guess I won't even do wild speculation if we can't get more people in. But who's live right now? Somebody must be live that I share, subscriber. Yes, Ramsey Lama has tendered his resignation effective, I believe it was yesterday. He tendered it yesterday, turned it in, made it official yesterday, and it will be, he will stay 90 days. He's gone. he's gone. And if you read the articles and whatnot, they say that he has health problems. Does it begin with an M and end with an OB? He's got health problems, and so he's coming off the bench and he's going to go back to private practice. Very interesting, isn't it? Oh, Duty Ron. Of course, I'm competing with Mr. Duty Ron or Officer Duty Ron. Thank you, Nancy. Yeah, Duty Ron's a hard one to compete with, right? Audio recordings plus sworn testimony. Exactly, Kathy. It's absolutely, yeah, crazy. Okay, so I thought this was an appropriate background for Wild Speculation Friday. What do you guys think? You think it's good? If you are ready for Wild Speculation Friday, I need you to type into the chat, say hell yeah. And I'm not going to start until I see 36. Hell yeah. So if you want some Wild Speculation Friday night, type into the chat, hell yeah, just like we do in Texas. I'm waiting. Bum, 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 bum. There's Lady of Angels, Sandra Chapman, Nancy Schmidt. Everybody's saying, hell yeah. Jerry's ready. Hell yeah. Hope Diamond looking for some wild speculation. I got it tonight. I am bringing wild speculation tonight. My phone is going crazy too. All right, we got lots of hell yes. I feel like I'm at home in a Texas honky tonk. Everybody yelling hell yeah. Oh, hell to the yeah. Okay, so let's go then with my wild speculation. So this is related to Suzanne Morphew. Okay, and everybody goes with Occam's razor. What looks to be the simplest explanation is generally the right choice. Okay, and I would say 9 times out of 10 that's true, but occasionally, every now and then, it doesn't hold true. Sometimes odd things happen. Sometimes things that you could never expect would happen. Sometimes things completely out of the ordinary happen. And that leaves you with a perpetrator who says, with a great deal of confidence, well, go ahead. You didn't find anything in my house. So I ask you, how can one murderer be so certain that nothing will be found by way of evidence in their house? Oh, did you look in my trucks? There's no evidence in my truck. How can one murderer be so certain that there'll be nothing found in the truck? And even after more than a year and hundreds of, or maybe even thousands of man hours searching the mountainside, going up into all the mines in the local areas, making that trip to Broomfield and looking for obvious places where one might hide a body along the way, nobody has been able to find any indication of Suzanne Morphew and where she may have been discarded, right? Been nothing. Okay. So I ran across a curious article. And the article is dated May the 3rd, 2021. And it is about the Lake County Coroner. The Lake County Coroner turned in his resignation letter. I'm just going to read this to you and then we'll continue the conversation. Shannon Kent, who is the Lake County's elected coroner, is facing felony charges of perjury and tampering with a deceased human body, and the subject of an ongoing criminal investigation, submitted a resignation letter to the county last Friday, and that was in May of 2021. And remember, Suzanne Morphew went missing May 10th, 2020. At a Lake County Board of County Commissioners meeting Monday afternoon, Commissioner Kayla Marcella said that Kent submitted his resignation effective August 1 or when an incumbent is seated in the position. At this time, the Board of County Commissioners would like to formally recognize the resignation and invite anyone that feels they can fill the vacancy to submit a letter of interest, said Marcella. Kent stands charged with official misconduct, a petty offense, and perjury, a felony in Lake County, and tampering with a deceased human body, a felony in Summit County. A phone call to the number for Lake County Coroner's office was greeted with a recording saying, "The person you're trying to reach is not accepting calls at this time. Please try again later." Kent has continued to serve as Lake County's elected coroner, though the county has reportedly had to make special arrangements with Chaffee County Coroner's Office and St. Vincent Health EMS to help move and store dissidents so that Kent can comply with bond orders issued by Summit County courts. At Monday's commissioner meeting, Commissioner Jeff Fiedler said Lake County will continue to have coverage for coroner duties, so there's no concern about a gap in service here. The official misconduct and perjury charges stem from Kent allegedly allowing his wife, Staci, to act as a deputy coroner without proper authorizations, and then allegedly making false statements to a grand jury about the arrangement. Prosecutors have also charged Staci Kent with perjury and forgery. Kent agreed to close his chain of funeral home businesses in December. He signed a voluntary agreement with state regulators to not only close them, but to never again work in a funeral home or crematory in Colorado. The agreement was reached after law enforcement searched one of Kent's funeral homes in Leadville. You guys just wait. Remember, this is wild speculation Friday night. Deputies allegedly found unsanitary and possibly unlawful conditions, including used body bags, medical gloves, and surgical equipment with dried bodily fluids on them piled on the floor. There was a body bag containing a deceased person that was not refrigerated and was leaking fluids. There were numerous bags of unlabeled cremains from being cremated, several bodies in refrigeration wrapped in sheets or blankets without identifying tags or paperwork, and a small unmarked casket containing a stillborn infant that Kent told police had been abandoned. Both of the Kents were arrested and charged with tampering with deceased human body and bail bond violations after authorities found a deceased person in a coffin in Silverthorne. The body is believed to have been there for several months, and there was no identity. There was a lawsuit that was filed against Kent Federal Homes in Leadville in July 2020. The lawsuit alleged that its facility in Gypsum provided the couple with commingled, unlabeled cremains of infants and adults mixed together. There were ashes far in excess of what would be expected for an infant. There were bone fragments mixed in with the infant, from a large adult. It included jewelry and other metals. The lawsuit was settled April 21st, according to Eagle County District Court records. Additional details about the settlement were not available. I can tell you there was a settlement, but I don't know the amount or the terms. A group of people working to force a recall election of Kent earlier this spring, but that did not turn in enough signatures. For now, Kent remains under criminal investigation by the Lake County Sheriff's Office. Now then, why is this part of Wild Speculation Friday night? Well, let me share this with you. Right there. So I took a look, just out of curiosity. What did I do? There we go. Okay. So if we look right here, that is Monarch Mountain and the Puma Path House. That's the starting place. Oh, let me make sure y'all can see this, because I always do things and then see, y'all don't see it because I got to add it to the. There we go. Okay. So this is at the beginning here. This is Monarch Mountain. And this is the Puma Path House, right? That's where we started. You come down to Poncha Springs, where you then turn north. And then you get here near Buena Vista, Johnson's Village, where it's thought, I believe, that Barry Morphew turned right. But if he went just a little further up toward Buena Vista, as many of us have speculated and talked about, because of the extra miles on his truck, right? There's been a little bit of speculation that would have gotten him into Buena Vista and back out to the road. But what happens if he were to meet someone in Buena Vista? What would happen if he passed Johnson's Village, met someone just on the other side of 285, and they took a package, and he turned around and went back to 285 to head up to Broomfield, and this person went where? To Leadville, where the crematorium and the funeral home is, by what is obviously an unscrupulous coroner. Or what if he himself, in a different vehicle, made the drive from Salida to Leadville and then to Broomfield, while someone else in his truck made the right turn, went from Salida up to Johnson City here and made the turn and went north on 285 to Broomfield and met him somewhere along those 5 trash runs to switch the vehicles back over. Remember this article that I read to you. Remember the charges and the evidence that was found with this creepy guy. They found body bags with unidentified bodies that were not prepared for burial, and they were leaking fluids and not refrigerated. They found cremated remains that were unidentified, just sitting in a box, just scattered about, just sitting there. They found what was supposed to be the remains of an infant, a small infant child. And in the remains of this particular child, there was an adult person with jewelry. Who was the adult woman with jewelry who had been cremated along with this infant that was undisclosed? It's a fairly horrible thought, right? It's a horrible, awful thought. But when you read what this coroner has actually been accused of, why it's as good of an explanation as any, isn't it? How many people have searched Monarch Mountain? How many people have gone into those mines? They went in that house. They went all over that property. They never found not anything, not a sign of anything. And he is so smug. Oh, well, you're not going to find anything. I don't know what's wrong with you. Sure, go ahead, look. I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. Did somebody meet him? Was she in some different car, not his truck? We never got to see the telematics from the Range Rover. It's very interesting, isn't it? It's horrific. Absolutely, Teresa. But I don't know how that can be. I don't know how that can be any worse of a possibility than anything else we've come up with, you know? You get an unscrupulous coroner willing to, maybe he needs $100,000 to look the other way, right? It's pretty sobering. It's pretty sobering. So that is, and let me I can share this article with you. Hold on. Where is it? Let me make sure y'all can see that. Okay. So here's the coroner and his wife. No kind of attention or care to bodies that were left to just decay right there where they worked. Bodies that were cremated, but were clearly, they had no idea who the people were. That's them right there. Shannon Kent. He's got a lot of problems. This was written May the 3rd, 2021, but all of his term started like in 2016. He didn't resign as the coroner for Lake County, helping out with Chaffee County. He didn't resign until 2021, May 2021. Kent stands charged with official misconduct, a petty offense, and perjury, a felony in Lake County, and tampering with a deceased human body in Summit County. He was elected Lake County Coroner in 2014 and reelected again in 2018. official misconduct and perjury charges from Kent allegedly allowed his wife Staci to act as a deputy coroner without proper authorization. He also ran a string of funeral home businesses, including a crematorium. Deputies found unsanitary and unlawful conditions, including body bags, used body bags, medical gloves, surgical equipment with dried body fluids on them piled on a floor, a body bag containing a decedent that was not refrigerated and leaking fluids, numerous bags of unlabeled cremains, several bodies in refrigeration wrapped in sheets and blankets without identifying tags or paperwork, and a small unmarked casket containing a stillborn infant that Kent told the police had been abandoned. Authorities found a deceased person in a coffin in a funeral home in Silverthorne that the body had been there for several months. In Gibson, the couple commingled and unlabeled cremains for an infant, providing ashes far in excess of what would be expected for an infant and containing bone fragments from a larger adult, as well as surgical material, jewelry, and other metals. So it would be like, if you had a filling in your tooth or you had staples, you'd had some kind of surgery in your abdominal area with staples, those things would survive, the cremation. The lawsuit was filed April 21st, Eagle County District Court records. It's incredible. I just sort of read the charges and the incidences. I read them like as a full group of things. But when you go into the article, this happened over 4 different counties, all around Chaffee. Why in the world? Let me ask you this. We're talking about a part of the country where there's not a lot of people. This is not Houston, Texas, okay? It's very few people in this area. Why in the world do they have so many dead bodies that are unidentified, unmarked? Why? Where are they coming from? Were they getting money under the table to dispose of bodies without leaving a trail? It is very curious, right? Very curious. Anything is, Teresa, I agree with you completely. Anything is possible. And listen, after all of the searching that has been done by so many people, where did she go? Where did she go? This could explain something. I would, if I was a private investigator or detective, I would be looking seriously for some kind of connection between Barry Morphew and this coroner to see, are they friends? Did they know each other? Did they ever have business together? Did they cross paths at any time together? I would be looking. So, all right. What did I tell y'all? Did I tell y'all that this was going to be the wildest speculation night of all time? I did tell y'all that, didn't I? I told y'all. Y'all didn't believe me. Next time you will. Okay. Well, so that's kind of what I have for tonight. Let's see. I'll read a few comments here. There's a funeral home in Montrose that someone needs to come forward. Wait. There's a funeral home in Montrose that is suspected of selling cadavers. She has been moved around. I have thought that too. Did Barry do the landscaping? I would want to know if he crossed paths with these people at any point. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it there. I would try to find out. If I was a private investigator in Colorado, I would be trying to find out if there was a connection at all in any way, no matter how fleeting or small. It's a small place. You consider that Judge Ramsey Lama has land literally right across the street from Barry Morphew and up a couple of miles. How weird is that? It's a small place. There's not very many people around. Blame on the fire department. He knows people. Yeah, and there, there's another potential connection, right? We need to get Lauren Sharf to look into the story. Well, no, Blonde. This is an article in the newspaper. It is happening. It is real. He's a coroner for Lake County, and Chaffee County is covering for Lake County's coroner needs right now. So I mean, it is real. It is. I told you, honey Kay. I told you it was wild speculation. Thank you, Jerry. Good deal, Teresa. Yeah, so let me get the name one more time. Um, the man's name is Shannon Kent, Kent, and his wife's name is Staci Kent, and they're both from Leadville or Leadville. I don't know how y'all pronounce that. He has criminal charges in Lake County and Summit County. With funeral homes in Gypsum, and there was something else. I don't remember what the other town was. Gypsum and it's horrifying. Every time I read it, I'm just horrified. Lawsuit alleges a facility in Gypsum. That's where they had the commingled remains. And Eagle County, there's a lawsuit in Eagle County as well, Teresa. It's horrifying. It's a crazy story. Okay. So, you may pass it along to our friend and see if he wants to look at that, because if you could make a connection between the Shannon Kent and Barry, that might be very interesting. I think the Bobcat has something to do with it. Well, in the arrest affidavit, they come right out and say that they don't think it was involved. I just can't believe that's possibly true, because he changed the blade on the thing. What was the point of that? So, but all that is water under the bridge. Doesn't matter anymore. Doesn't do any good to talk about it. But this is a possibility if you could draw a connection to Barry, So I hope they're in the process of checking DNA of all of the remains. Well, you got to remember a lot of this was stuff that happened like 4, 5, 6 years ago, and they haven't been able to identify them. They've been cremated, so there's really not anything that would have DNA left. I guess if there were some teeth, you might be able to, but it's a nightmare. It is a nightmare. And again, why in the hell would you have so many unmarked bodies? Like, why? This is not a big area. You'd notice if somebody went missing. It's very strange. It's very strange. And people will do anything for money. Absolutely. People are hurting for money. And if they don't think anybody will know, they can close their eyes long enough to do something awful, right? I mean, that's just human nature. So it's the wildest wild speculation Friday night I've ever had. But is it really crazy, or is it crazy like a fox? And is it any worse than other things that we've speculated? Right? So it's worth a look. It's worth a look to see if these jokers were friends. It's worth a look. All right. Done. Wild speculation Friday night is over. So what did you think? Was it a good one? If it was a great wild speculation night, then chalk us up some blue hearts or some pink hearts. I can go with pink hearts. Shannon Kent Martin, and his wife's name is Staci. He's the elected coroner in Lake County, and he did work with Chaffee County and Eagle County. He had a string of funeral homes. He was forced to close them all down in August of 21 because he's just got bodies laying everywhere. Some prepared for burial, many of them not prepared for burial. Some are cremated. They had one infant in a casket, and when they opened up the casket, the remains that were there, what it was cremated remains, it was a lot more than what an infant would be. And when they got to looking, there was an adult in there with the baby cremated. And there was jewelry implying that maybe it was a woman that had been cremated. It's horrifying, Martin. So this was in Leadville. And let me put this back up because I think Martin just got here. So let me put this back up, Martin, and let me show you what we're talking about in terms of location. Where would Leadville be located in terms of Barry leaving Puma Path on his way to Broomfield? That's pretty shocking. Okay, so here is Puma Path, Monarch Mountain, obviously. Oh, wait, let me check, make sure you can see it. Nope. I'm sorry. Okay, so Martin, here's for orientation, here's Puma Path, right? Supposedly he came out, went left, yada yada, turned around and went back, right? But the other place that we came up with the additional mileage was once he gets up here to Johnson Village, which is right here, this would be where he would turn right. And the monastery is up this road on the right side, right? But he could have gone in to Buena Vista, which would be right here. If he had gone into Buena Vista for something, I believe he originally even said maybe he went in to get breakfast or food or something. And then he turned around and he went back out here to 285 and then headed to Broomfield. But look how close Leadville is. Come on. Here is Leadville. So whether he came up here, whether he came right here and then jumped on 285 going this way. Is that 285 or 225? 285. Okay. whether he turned right at the village, Johnson Village, and then headed up this direction, or whether somehow another truck, not Barry's truck with the telematics, but maybe somebody else was driving Barry's truck that went this way while Barry went through Leadville this way. They both would have arrived in the Broomfield area at the same time. So does that explain why it looks like he didn't deviate anywhere? Is that why he's so confident? It's very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. What do you think, Martin? Yes, Getty, but I think if they're cremated, I don't think there's any way. I don't think there's any way for them to do that. There won't be any DNA left after cremation. And it does say in the article, Geraldine, it does say in the article that in the casket with the infant and the adult, what I'm assuming is a woman, because they said there's jewelry mixed in that went through the cremation process, that there was medical, does it say medical device or medical parts? Medical parts, jewelry, something else that was mixed in. Yeah, definitely. They knew that some were adult because they had bits of the bone. There were pieces of bone that had not been completely burned that they could tell were much larger than the infant. And then there were the surgical piece, the medical piece. Maybe that said surgical, Nancy. Let me go back through the article and make sure what kind of verbiage they used. Hold on. It's a nightmare. It's like a horror movie. But what struck me is, why the hell would this coroner have so many unidentified bodies? Like, who the hell is bringing him these unidentified bodies? It's weird. And Silverthorne was the other one. And let me tell y'all, Silverthorne is a nice town. It has got some very expensive homes. The shopping center is very expensive place. This is not some little podunk town in the middle of the mountains. These are educated people. What the hell? How do you just have coffins laying around in the funeral home in Silverthorne that have been there for years? Who were they? It's so strange. Okay, here's what it says about the infant that had the remains of an adult, what I think may be a woman because it talks about the jewelry. It says, providing ashes far in excess of what would be expected for an infant and containing bone fragments from an adult, as well as surgical material, jewelry, and other metals. So that made me think, okay, well, if you have surgery, maybe you have like staples, right? So maybe it's staples and then your jewelry that you're wearing. And then it says other metals. So maybe like fillings in your mouth. So what it looks like is they said, okay, well, we're cremating this infant, supposedly an abandoned infant. And then when nobody's looking, what do? They just take a woman's body and throw in there with the infant? No identification, no kind of, how? How the hell do you have that many unidentified dead people that you're disposing of where there's not going to be a trace left of them? You're not going to know who they are. It's crazy. Maybe artificial joints. Yeah. Oh, totally sloppy. Oh, no, Teresa, these guys, he resigned May the 5th, 2021, and he's facing all kinds of court problems. He got probation. Holy crap. Wow. BZ, what's the SUV thing? What happened last night? That was weird. Yeah, there are bad people, BBT. One of them we know about, but we can keep an eye on her. Blame his court for his illegal voting issues in May. They'll give him a slap on the wrist. The story last night had a woman's body found with a fetus. Where was this at, BZ? It will get him one day. It will, Teresa. One of these days, it's going to get him. Well, yeah. See, there you go, David. Right? You're willing to look the other way. How much cash gets piled up on the table? You're a coroner. You've got a crematorium, the only one in 5 counties. How much does it take for you to look the other direction? Right? Is that where all those bodies are coming from? Leadville, yes, BZ. Yeah, the consciousness of guilt, right, BBT? He knew she wasn't coming back, so he made the vote for her. Yeah, absolutely. Spent this morning in the pool. Very nice, tripping on a mystery. Very nice. Yeah, we talked about the judge resigning, and it's pretty infuriating. Oh, in a duffel bag. Oh my God. Hell, no names, BZ, no identifying information, no paperwork. These are dead bodies, and nobody knows who they are, where they came from. Some are cremated, some are not. It's the craziest story I've ever read. Where the hell do you come up with so many unidentified bodies in damn Leadville, Colorado? It's crazy. Yeah, he had some dead bodies in Clear Creek too, Carrie. Oh, David Vogel said maybe it's just, do you want to keep having the only funeral service in the area and not have any competition? Yeah, maybe. They did find John List. That's right. Oh, Shannon Kent, and his wife is Staci Kent. One hand washes the other. Colorado has a creepy history. Yeah, the airport is a trip. Yes, I agree. Yes, ma'am. Okay, people, I warned you, didn't I? I told you that wild speculation Friday night was going to be crazy, and it is. Research the Kent family members. Oh, this is going to totally consume me, David. I'm going to be reading and finding every little thing I can about anybody named Kent in Colorado. Ooh, that's weird, Claire. That's scary. He first time he was elected was 2014, and then he was reelected in 2018. Yeah, I went through the whole article, so it's got all of the information about this character, including his picture. Ooh, they took the bodies home. Oh my God, we are living in we are living in some crazy, crazy, crazy times. No doubt about it. Okay, I told y'all it was going to be a crazy night. Crazier than Amber Heard. Yeah? All right. So, I'm going to end this wild speculation crazy Friday night. I told y'all that it was crazy, and I had to leave up my creepy magical background because it was. Thank y'all so much for being here. Y'all get busy researching this guy. Look for a connection to Mr. Bleem. All right. I'll speak to you tomorrow. Y'all have a great Friday night, an awesome Friday night, and I'll be back tomorrow. Okay? Talk to you later. Bye.